Alright, I think we're live. What a day. What a week. And for us here in Australia and some of the states, we've got yet another long weekend. And I gotta say, I'm not ready for this one. I know a lot of people love long weekends, but they actually are very disruptive. Yeah, and you forget about them until they're upon you. And then you're like, crap, you know, you haven't bought enough things in advance. Yeah, even though it's only like 1 day extra, it's surprising how much of a cascade effect 1 day can produce. It's a bit of unwanted flux on my fingertip. It's better. Alrighty. It's good for when you work with wages. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you got a wage set aside for you, then no problem. And if you don't have to worry about deadlines and things like that, no problem. But when you are working for yourself and you're depending a lot on parts coming in and things like that, then yeah, it's disruptive. Okay, so we've got a 2442 here. Just put this into the system. 2518. I actually do not recall what this one is here for, so we're going to find out. Victoria, yes, you guys have yours a little later in the year, don't you? We have had this switch back and forth a couple of times. Basically, as each government comes in and out, they switch it back and forth. And I understand the reason for, Victoria's system somewhat might be better, because what we get here is we end up with, we have Australia Day, and then quickly you end up at Easter, and then you've got Anzac, and then you've got May Day in this particular case. And you find you basically lose all your productivity very quickly. And then, of course, further in the year, when people start getting fatigued with school and working, things like that, there are no public holidays pending until you basically get to Christmas. So I understand that other states push 1 or 2 of the public holidays a little further down the year, which I think is a bit smarter. Hey, DevPom. I just realised, DevPom, you were the one that had the issues with DigiKey sending you the wrong caps, weren't you? Like, you ordered caps that were like $15 a pop, and they sent you ones that were $1 a pop. What's this? Fails to boot after exposure to salad dressing. Oh, right. Okay, alright then. I'm going to say this probably, at the very least, will have a lid angle sensor issue. So salad dressing took this one out. The good side of it all is that the majority is okay, it seems. Yeah, I'm going to go with the lid angle sensor as being the primary culprit here. No one's been into this, so that's also nice. We'll just take that battery flex out. Always gets me. And so yeah, tonight we're running back on the Intel A380 ARC card. We'll see how it goes. The settings might need to be readjusted. The thing I find weird or strange or difficult to deal with is when I go into the streaming setup on OBS, it shows that it's using a software encoder. But when I look at the details of it, it says it's using the ARC A380 card. I think the software aspect is because it's channeling it through FFmpeg. At least that's what I think. Hey, Joey Does Text here. How's it going? I can't even remember what happened on the last US stream. Anyway, I can see remnants of the salad dressing down here. Now the reason why I'm suspecting the lid angle sensor is because they mention that it sometimes starts, sometimes not. And the lid angle sensor on these machines just seems to be in the right place to get the damage. Damn it, I just lost that torque screw. I mean, it's not torque, it's a pentalobe. There's a pentalobe lost in there somewhere. Ah, joy. Yeah, we got one very cooked up. Where did my screw go? I'm still going to have to take this board out though, because the salad dressing has gone along the side here, so we will need to clean it up. I'm hoping that it's basically the lid angle sensor is the primary fault and the rest of it is just superficial. But the unsuperficial bit about this is that I lost that pentalobe screw. Normally they don't come out of that lid angle sensor too easily. This time it decided it would. Inside the fun. Are you saying that because you know, or are you saying that because you saw it? I'm just going to have to... Like I said, I've got to pull it apart anyway, so... Let's have a look at that lid angle sensor. Oh, it's a guess, right? Okay. I thought you'd seen it with your special eyes or something. Yep, that's a slightly messed up lid angle sensor, and that is why it will be intermittent. All we can do is just try to clean it up. Maybe we should put some balsamic vinegar on it. Yes, Christian, that's right. Yeah, even though it's using the XE driver, at least I believe it is, you still got to. I still had to use those 915 kernel parameters to get it to even activate. The funny thing is, it was fine if I was using Wayland, but if I wanted to use X, I had to put those parameters in. So I don't know whether it's coincidence or what, but that's what I've ended up with. I'm just trying to be really gentle here and try not to make it too damaged more than it already is. Are you meaning the state of the lid angle sensor or the encoding? Screws next to the hinge. Cool. Thank you for that. Oh, the encode. Thank you, Mocosis. I can smell sweetness. This will be one of the few times that I do a flux and boil, most likely. If we're very lucky, I won't even have to re-ball. I don't have to re-ball these ones. I've only got pads, not balls. I think I'm going to use the electric scrubber now. Hey, Buzzer. Oh, you just ordered a B580. Okay, well that could be a whole different ball game. Yeah. Don't use my experience as any kind of guide. Overall, this actually looks to be in very good condition. That hair has been annoying me the whole time. Come here, hair. Gee, that's annoying. Hey, Quicksilver. Welcome. What are you going to be using the B580 for? Like, I only got the 380 A because it was cheap, and B because I was needing more VRAM, or at least in theory. This is just a bit of a slow process. Normally, I don't work this slowly on these lid angle sensors. Most of the time, all of these caps are just torn off. Well, not torn off, they just sort of, they fail because of the corrosion. But this one's, like I said, very surprisingly good condition. And yes, the sensor does work magnetically. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to pull that up. I feel like it's going to corrode sooner or later. So yeah, I think we'll do a reconstruction. Okay, now as for the pentalobe screw, there it is. Funnily enough, is that connected because of the magnet? It is. It's because of the magnet. There's the magnet right there. Right, screws safely put into the container. You have an ARC fix. Hey, Dreams. An ARC. What fixed the ARC issue? A bunch of things, but basically I think it was a combination of using the kernel overrides line. Or oh man. But needless to say, it is definitely more complicated than it should be coming from Intel. I mean, if NVIDIA can make it work with what what they do, there's no reason that Intel can't. Hey Jim, welcome. Surprised you didn't get a notification. Way too much. What is this, a Rossmann stream? Okay. So initially we're going to flux and boil, and then we're going to have to lift up that chip. Things may be working now, but they're not going to last for long if we leave them like they are. Oh yeah, and I really need to change the... Okay. Let's see, 230 and 50% air, we'll start with that. In fact, 50% air is a bit much. 30% air. Well, Dreams, the 380 is working very well now that I've fixed it up. It's still very weird that it ran fine with Wayland, but it just hated X. But the trouble is, I wanted to run MATE, whatever, and that doesn't run so well in Wayland. And there's a bunch of other reasons why I don't like Wayland yet. I think I need a bit more heat. So we'll go up to 290. Looks like I might have to go to 3. Interestingly, those caps are coming up alright with the flux. Yeah, they got a bit of life back into them. The chip definitely needs to have its pads redone. Fine, we'll do it that way. Maybe I can just put a dead weight on it or something. It is just soldered on. You just got to get it the right temperature. There we go, see? And you can see why I wanted to clean it up, and that's a pretty big mess down there. Hey, Ortega Computcon, Argentina. Mean to show you a beer. Hope it's enough for at least one tinny. 5,000 arse. Really? Argentinian... What is that? Thank you very much for that, Ortega. Yes, I'll have to... well, I don't drink beer myself, but certainly coffee is on the menu. So I'll take you up on the coffee. Thank you very much. Yeah, the bracket was acting as a bit of a heat sink, which is usually not a problem. But this time it was just getting a little bit annoying. Yeah, we've definitely got multiple pads out of action there. Argentinian pesos. Okay, cool. Thank you. So I gotta be careful here because I really don't want to lose too many pads. There's not enough copper down. The copper, I don't know if you see it, the trace comes down here and it's disconnected, so I'll have to run a line. That's annoying. Now you can get replacement flexes. That is another option. I'll see how we go. I've got a feeling that one's eaten out. Again, I can work around it. You can just run a wire down the middle. It's not ideal, but it can be done. Hey Greg Foster, Adam Hogan, sorry. I need to get another tip for the blade. I'm quite disappointed with this box of blades that I've got. They really are not living up to what I need. You know, they're not forged blades, they're sintered metal. And subsequently the tips just snap clean off real easy. Whereas forged blades will not do that. Thing is, I thought these were genuines, but they're clearly not. Hey Grumpy Tech, how's things down there in Townsville? You guys get any of the rain? I'm sure you're all scared of it though. I can't believe all this time I didn't realise who I was talking to. It's embarrassing. Stabbed myself a little. Yeah, so that pad's gone. This is why it's nice to have a nice sharp tip. It's much easier to work on the damage. Yeah, we just got a little rain, not much. Yep, that one's gone ski. Not worried about it. That's like a little 3 picofarad or something like that. It's nothing substantially important in the grand scheme of things. And it was important that went anyway. You can see just there that the trace just vanished. Yeah, they're all probably going to have to go. That's annoying. Hey there, Serge, Miles. Okay, so basically the only viable section is right up the top. So we have to work our way back down from the top. So fortunately this is not a complicated board. Yeah, I think Lewis did mention this in the past. So we just need to basically run a wire from there all the way down to here. It could be that the chip is actually internally connected, so we might be able to get away with not doing that, but let's see if we can actually revitalize this chip. There is a program, you can get replacements, yes. But I prefer to try and revive the existing ones. The other way, of course, is you don't even really need a programmer. If you're in a spot, what you can do is you just take a generic replacement, and you just keep rotating the magnet on the hinge until it works. Because that's essentially all you're doing when you're programming these, is you're just simply setting up where the magnetic field makes the alignment that you need. Probably zoomed in a bit much there. That's better. As you can see, that pad is recessed in, but fortunately there's enough there for me to work with. Hopefully these two are the same. Okay, there's still solder on that one, so that's good, or tinning rather. And the copper on this one is good too. So the chip is intact. No problem at all with it. I've had some where I've had to chase into the epoxy body, chasing the bond wire. That was no fun. Alright, so we'll put a bit of flux on this and solder it up. Let's see, Miles, had a customer come in with an XPS desktop not powering on. I get to turn on the first time. 90C on the whoa. No thermal. That's how they explain that one away. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that is sort of classic Apple, isn't it? Overcomplicate what really is just a very simple process. Hey, Cypher Labs, welcome. Well, who's heading off? Need a little bit more flux. Tager, as far as I know, not really, with regards to the override. But like I said, it's comparatively trivial just to, yeah, if you don't have a programmer, then just adjust the magnet on the hinge. Trying to fluff those pads up, but they don't want to fluff. Hey, Fujitsu, well, I can only speak for the one I've got, and I mean, I think the cards are fine. The encoding quality seems to be good, but they just seem to have a bit of a setup problem. It seems like once you can get over the setup issues, then they're not so bad. Oh, yuck. I got muck on the board. There we go. Oops. Well, I'll have to do. It's not perfect, but it'll do. We're still going to go back and fix up the flex now. Hey, Colonel's 28. Alright, challenge time. Hey, Ryan Labs, morning. Okay, now you may think I'm a little crazy scraping all that off, but it actually just gets in the way of what I want to do. So we're just going to run a wire from up here all the way down to here, and then we can basically reconstruct everything. Those bubbles from the old conformal coating, they just get in the way. I wonder if I can do anything with those laser cut these things. Although, quite honestly, I think that the thickness of this copper is too much. That's too thick. I have to go and use just some fine wire. I might use some Touch ID wire and flatten it out. Some of this stuff I might be able to get away with not flattening it out. That might try that technique. Ryan Labs, with those, I wish with the microscopes that people would, you just really need to get a head, as in, just buy a microscope head that you want, and then at least they can pack it properly, and then you can just get yourself a standard articulating head or something. I do wish they would sell the mounts with frickin' hell, sell the mounts without the iron base, because the iron base is useless unless you've got no other choice. Mine's basically a phenomenal doorstop, and that's about it. Hey, on stage. This is the tricky bit for me. I've got to turn this around. Turn around. Yep, okay. Gotta stop playing Total Eclipse of the Heart in my head. Every now and then I get lucky with a job. Zero effect. I don't think we... nope, not discussing that. It's a nice way to start a war. I've not been happy with many people ever since the MBN fiasco. The MBN fiasco broke my heart. I wish I was lying. Oh, right on stage. Yeah, like I said, I got it solved on Ubuntu as well, so it's all good now. This cap here is probably going to need to be replaced as well. You can see that pad there, it's not really touching, so it's going to have to come off as well. At least I think it is. Trouble is, I'm not 100% sure of the values of these. I can try and measure that one actually. It's probably in good enough condition that I can measure it. I should try that. Okay, I need to UV cure this stuff now. Pedro, is Pedro still around? I'm pretty sure there was a website showing the values of the parts on these flexes. Yeah. Okay, that's Micro's insulin. Pin the post in the group. Oh, thanks, Pedro. Can I be the lazy butthead and just ask you to tell me what this one is, so that I don't have to go to the group? Yep, it's injection time. That's way too much. The one that you can see on screen. This is the one that's its own LDO cap or whatever it is. It's not the one on the main rail. It's okay, I can somewhat indirectly trust Pedro, only because I have leverage. Alright, I'm just going to quickly go do micro and I'll be back. Oh shit. Hey Dipom, yeah, 100 nanofarad, 10 voltage is what I've put him in the past, but I just thought maybe someone had measured it properly since. You emailed me? Jeez. Couldn't just tell me. Well, you make my life difficult, Pedro. I'm going to put you back in the box. Email, gee whiz. Like I've got email here, just easily available. Not even seeing it in email. Where'd you send it to? Oh, in a second? Oh my goodness, you are useless. But yeah, 100 nanofarad. I'd just be throwing 100 nanofarad 10 volt down on there and be... It probably does the job. Like I said, we can probably measure that, to be honest. If I take it off, there's a good chance I'll be able to measure that. Those pads are looking pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with the UV coating. It's nice and even, and it looks properly cured. You had to find it? Wow. I thought you were this, like, well-organized, old, crusty person. Useless. Useless. We'll see if we can actually measure it. I'm not going to try and measure it on the pads here because I'll probably slip and do some damage. You see what I mean by that? Just popped right up. So Yeah, that's why we couldn't trust it. Now if we're lucky, we might still have a viable cap on it. The end cap actually doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I might be able to do a measurement using that. It is 100 nanofarad. Let's see if Pedro's telling the truth. And I ended up with frickin' frequency. Nah. Okay. Okay, pause. Local. Okay, capacitance. Is it still down there? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, this is the most difficult part of it. Getting it to hold still long enough. Oh, look at that. That's about 100 nanofarad for sure. Pedro survives again. Now, where'd my USB-C meter go? Yeah, it's pretty standard jelly bean kind of stuff, isn't it? So I have in the past just put 100 nanofarad 10 volts down, only because I didn't have anything smaller in terms of voltage, and it's seen fine with that. But it's always good sometimes to verify this stuff. Okay, so we do have a little bit of an issue here where that pad is actually more not there than what I realized. See that? It's completely not there. So what we'll do is we'll just kind of put a little bit lower down here. Agreed, Defcom. I agree. Of course, sometimes these chips do have, some sort of like, you have to use this value if you want this. Okay, we've got another issue here. If I put that cap on, what's going to happen is the solder is going to race towards it. Oh wait, actually no, I'm okay. I just realised I've got my conformal coating, so I'll put the cap on, scratch away the conformal coating, then I can put the chip on. Okay, and that, what is that? It's a 201 by the looks of it. Actually, maybe I do have a... yeah, whatever. Oh, 0, we're gonna get myself marked. I actually haven't seen any videos of his lately. Is he still producing videos, or something happened? Light was a bit much. Alright, let's just slop that flux on. No one cares. Gob it on. By the way, anyone with the ARC A380 hot air station, are you having problems with one of the buttons sticking? Like the up, down? In my case, the up button sticks. Did what I thought it was. Oh, you did just do one? Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to try and fluff up those pads for the chip. Just try and drop little bits of solder on them. Just to give me a little bit more of a chance of a successful bonding. And then I'll put the intake caps, I'll put them on last, and the little bit of extra heat that they bring about should just give the chip a chance to sit down a bit more. Struggling to get my focus right. What is that? Oh, that was a human hair. Yeah, Ryan Labs, the front panels being disabled is a very common thing. You just have to live with it. You get used to it though. I did request from a couple of places to see if they could make it available as an option that the front panel would not be disabled, but they're all like, why would you want to do that? And it's like, does it really matter why? You know, can I at least get that as an option, as a programmable option through SCPI? And they decided no. Which is annoying, because there are definitely times where you'd like to be able to do something on the front panel while your software is running. Makes you realize just how tiny these things are, considering this is a 0.1mm tip. Yeah, I'm going to have to rely on the solder on the chip to bond onto that wire. I can't put anything actually onto the wire, at least not meaningful amounts. Alright, so now the big question is, what was the frickin' orientation of the chip? I'm pretty sure the 916 was down. I'm pretty sure this 619 number or whatever was facing down. Like that. Hey, Mountainside. Oh, geez, Pedro. You're being ambiguous again. I'm pretty sure it was like this. Yeah, because you can't have bottom. The only way you could have, it won't work the other way because you've got 3 on the side and 4 up, top and bottom. Flippin' hell. And so you got your 3 sides, 4 top, bottom. So I'm 99.9% sure it's this way. You're not wrong about that. Of course, in this case, bizarre, it is F619, but you're quite right, quite right. Oh, what are you kidding me? It just drew the damn chip, the cap under itself. Right, that's not what we wanted. I had a brain fart there. I couldn't actually let go of the chip. You know, when sometimes you just can't seem to make your hand release your fingers. It's very weird when that happens. Anyway, that feels pretty good now. And I say we put another 100 nanofarad up here. This probably is if I had to guess, I would say they've probably got a 1 microfarad, 100 nanofarad, maybe 10 picofarad or something cascade. So we'll just drop a 100 on it. Look at the photo you sent. Oh, you actually did send. Oh, look at this. You actually did. Huh. And guess what? I was actually right. Oh, what? Here we go. Schematics. So yeah, it is a cascade. An array, whatever you want to say. So you got 100 picofarad, so basically 0.1 nanofarad, 100 nanofarad, and 1 microfarad. Nice to see the designers work about the same way we all do. It's a nice confirmation that you're not exactly a complete idiot, unlike some people. Oh, flippin' hell. I guess I'll put the 100 nanofarad on it. Oh, sorry, I won't bother with the 0.1, but I will put the 1 microfarad on it, because that otherwise may run into stability issues. I hope there's nothing more than 10 volts on that line. I'll be very surprised if there is more than 10 volts coming down on that. I suppose we could actually have a look. Schematics, this is 2442, so it's a 2098. Yeah, 3.3 sounds right to me, but like I said, we'll have a check. Yeah, what am I doing? What am I doing? Ah, here it is. So we got 1v8, 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 and 3v3. So, yep, all good. And I'm not even going to try and separate these in a fancy way. I'm just going to trunk them together. They can hold on to each other for dear life. I don't even know if that's soldered. Did someone forget to put solder down there? No, the solder there. It's marked on the photo? Seriously? I didn't see that. Sorry. Sorry. Well, once again, at least I proved it to myself. I need a bit more of air. Not exactly how I planned it, but as long as it's soldered, I'm happy. Yep, that's soldered. I'm just tapping this with the earbud, Q-tip, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to rub. I have a feeling if I do any rubbing, I'll be in big trouble. That's a lot of muck. I know I should be happy with that, but I'm also offended. I just feel like that's got way too much goop around it. I think I'm going to have to be happy with that. I'm not, but I'm going to have to be. I'm leaving the 100 picofarad off simply because of the fact that I can't really fit it effectively without getting too close to the chip. Ah crap, just realised we've got to solder the damn thing back on. Really? Shite. Well, at least we can use a lower temperature maybe, I don't know. What a pain. Hey there, Mr. Repair. Nothing too substantial missed. Just me yelling at Pedro, for the most part. I'm just getting salad dressing off this angle sensor, basically. Yeah, I agree, Def Pum. I feel like I need to actually put it on something as well, like that hot block that I've got. Well, the other way I could do it is just simply put it on a, one of those heater bricks. Frick. Yeah, that's always going to be a problem. Come on. Shouldn't be taking up this much heat. Okay, maybe well, there's a metal plate under the bench, so maybe they'll hold. There we go. Might help if I can actually align it. Right, clearly I suck at this part. I need to change the angle. God damn. Yeah, preheater. Well, I do have them. Okay, we'll try it from this top side instead. Nope. I mean, it works, but I just can't get the angle right. I don't know whether I should just be happy with that and leave it be or not. Feels wrong though. I think I might pull out the old preheater. Ah. Let me just try one more thing. What frickin' solder is this? See ya, Ton May. Thanks for dropping in, eh? Oh fuck, oh fuck. Holy shit. The trouble is, every time I get close, I keep blowing it. Literally. I need a better gripper. I think I'll use a different pair of tweezers to bring it down to it. It's really pissing me off. Right, so now I've got some proper croc grips. Right, now I can actually bring it down and the hot air will not blow it away. Blow it away! Jeez, talk about frustration. What the frick? Why didn't that bond? So I got it right, it just didn't bond. That's crazy, it's not bonding. There's flux on there, it's just not taking to the other surface for some reason. Okay, we'll do it reverse. I think fairly say that's alright. Bit more flux. It seems like it's some kind of salt. Yeah. Right now it's too far forward. That's unacceptable. I think we got it. Hey, Paul Hal. Yeah, it is like trying to make a hole in water. Yeah, I think we got it that time. Blimey hell. Blimey. We don't even know if it works. Ah, boy. Alright, now we have to disassemble the machine, check the logic board, and see if that was all for naught. Okay. That was a schlep. Oh, lucky. Maybe that is what I have to do. Show the board who's approved to repair it. See if it boots without. Yeah, see if it boot. But I've got to take the board out anyway. There's no way I can responsibly power this up without first checking the board. And if you are a person who powers it up without taking the board out after you already know it has liquid damage, then you're an a-hole. Don't do that. If you can see it's liquid damaged, check it, take it out, look at it, clean it. Don't just go, oh, it'll be okay. I'm in a grumpy mood today, I think. Ah, boy. Not helped by the fact that it took way too long to repair that lid angle sensor when I probably should have just transferred it to another one. I just tried to. It didn't look too damaged, and it really wasn't. Compared to some of the ones that I've seen, that was minimally damaged. It may require port replacements as well, so we'll just see how we go. And worst case scenario, we'll maybe be up for a data recovery situation. But again, this is a good example of why you should charge full price, even if it is just a lid angle sensor, because it can take a long time to fix a lid angle sensor. And sometimes you might not even have a replacement on hand. Hey Catherine, welcome. Maybe PayPal will cheer me up. I don't know. Mr. Paul Howe has sent through 50 Australian dollars. Thank you, Mr. Paul Howe. Always very generous of you to do such things. Really appreciate that. Certainly the fur kids appreciate that. Oh, speaking of which, I went to the shop tonight just to get, because it's the long weekend as I was discussing before, And I thought, right, well, we better stock up and get some more cat food, things like that. Anyway, it turns out the cat food was, well, you're pushing about $200. It's ridiculously expensive keeping, giving good food to animals and stuff like that. I mean, not that I wouldn't, but yeah, the price of everything is ridiculous. That said, I don't think any government's going to be able to get those prices down. I think businesses are just going wild. They're just simply deciding, you know what, we're going to keep pushing prices up until sales completely tank, and then we'll back it off a little bit. But the whole COVID thing kind of gave free run to a lot of businesses to just ramp up prices as they saw fit. And then of course everybody else has to do the same, because once it gets started, it's very hard to roll that kind of inflation back. And you'd think nearly 6 years on, things would have cooled off a bit, and I suppose they have a little bit, but it's a bit of a wasteland all around. So anyway, back to the original point. Thank you very much, Paul Hal. Thank you very much indeed. A bag of biscuits for us, I think it's about a 4 kilo bag, is $120. And then we also have to have a medicated one for Jet, because he's got his bladder stones. Well, that's even more. And the fun thing is that everybody eats his biscuits. It's like, you can't just selectively have him the only one eating those biscuits. Oh yeah, this is going to be a bit of a data job. In retrospect, doing that lead angle sensor probably was a waste of time. We'll see how we go. It might just look worse than what it really is. I would say this port is the one that they had plugged in when the salad action occurred. So yeah, maybe we can just replace that port. We'll see what the other side looks like. Did some battery replacement on 1502, found that an automotive trim removal tool. Oh yeah, that's why I use those yellow spudges that I use. They work well too. Same concept. Nice thin blade, gets in under everything, slides along quick and quietly. And of course those trim tools are designed not to scratch, which is very important. Because you really don't want to go scratching your lithium battery cells, not your soft pouches. They can get a little bit upset and express their feelings in a very dramatic kind of way. And you can't just step back and go, whoa, whoa, calm down. So that only makes them more angry. Would it be illegal to make cat food from magpie? Well, we actually don't have a problem with magpies. Magpies get along with us just fine here. I think the thing is, magpies kind of get used to people that know certain people, and they attack them. But they don't attack us. Okay, looks like the liquid damage got down onto the microphone. Okay. Ah, hell. Okay. Alright. Let's see how we go. Well, it's just missed the 3217, but it's taken out. Yeah, this is bad news that there's a TB-ROM. I mean, at this point, I would be saying, okay, we'll look at trying to ensure that we can get data back. As you can see, that port, like I said, was probably the one. It was churning away quite a bit. And another ROM got taken. Jeez. Fortunately, MagSafe 3 is still intact, so that's good. But then again, let's see. Okay, that's the MagSafe 3 controller. And these are the two USB-C controllers. It's still a little moist there, so I can't really dry scrub it. I'm going to have to wet scrub. Yeah, so we're going to have to do a bit of a wet scrub here. So that's 80% 80-20 mix. And then we get the electric. Now, fortunately, at least I've recorded all this, so I know where the damage was. I think there was a bit of herbal leaf there. Okay. We get 100% IPA, or 99.98. Don't you dare do that. Yeah, it was vinaigrette, salad dressing sort of thing. You know, the French dressing, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, looks good. I reckon that's ready for eBay sale now. Good as new on eBay. Hey Thomas, welcome. Say Greg Foster, are you heading out I presume? Or are you just saying you need to get yourself into gear? Okay, let's get the Reaper in. That might have been just going to a test point there, so we're thankful for that. And what's going on here is something chunkier than what I'm expecting is down there. I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's just a piece of the herbs. Because it certainly doesn't belong to anything in this area. Yeah, oh, that goes down a veer. Crap. I'll have to see where that one goes. Damn it, I was hoping. A little bit concerned about stuff having gotten under here. Not terribly concerned, but a little bit. It's okay. Yeah, I'd say that's probably our biggest issue, if it's going to be an issue. Pull up the board view and have a look and see what we're dealing with there. So do we after bottom side? It's over here. Oops. It's just by the crystal. This one here. And what do you... Is that it? Yeah, that's the SPI. What are you? SPI, AF, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I have no idea what you are. And you go straight under the chip. Marvelous. Brilliant. No other point, no other stopping points, just those 2 points. How annoying. And that's Thunderbolt. So we do have to chase that one. Damn it. Fortunately, I think there is enough there. Yeah, the little stump, I can feel it. It's actually standing up quite strong. It survived when the gold pad actually did not. In fact, it looks intact. We should be able to just blob solder that. HAW. Yeah, there's definitely a stalk coming up there. So the salad dressing ate the pad itself, but it didn't go for the stalk. Very fortunate. It almost looks like it is intact, but I'll just reinforce it anyway. I might have to actually wire that one. This cap is definitely looking terrible. So is this one. I mean, they're connected. I'm kind of curious to see whether this will even boot. Because at this point, if it can boot and we can get the data off, then I'm probably just inclined to leave it be. We do have to deal with this though. There's a bit more damage there, I forgot about that. I'm somewhat inclined to actually remove that port. I feel like there could be secondary damage down there. Like, you know, pins welded where they shouldn't be. Okay, so here we go. So how's everyone finding the quality so far? Does it still seem okay? Like I said, we are running, it should be VP9 codec, I think. I mean, obviously there's going to be problems with my focal ability, simply because I'm not perfect with my vision. But that aside, hopefully things are alright. Bit of a problem down here, I probably should flush this out too. Yeah. But at least the nice thing here is that all the points on this one are actually quite okay. So very fortunate there. Oh, that one's done a dodgy as well. Jeez. Alright, bit of cleaning. Okay, good. Nice to know that you guys are getting VP9. So more scrubbing required for sure. Stats for nerds, yeah. I do still need to actually replace the microscope camera itself. In my opinion, it's not really up to where I want it to be. Okay, again, this is 80/20. So we use it to help lift up any water-soluble material. Whereas if you use 100% IPA, you're not going to lift up much water-soluble material at all. Normally I do not do this kind of thing until I'm pretty sure the whole board's okay, but there are some circumstances such as this where I'm willing to do it. and it helps that things have been recorded. The real problem is when you wash a board and you haven't recorded what you've done, so therefore you can't actually go back and reference, like, oh, was that area, did that area have corrosion or did that not have corrosion? And so thereafter you're blind in terms of you don't know what the state of the board was. Whereas if you recorded everything, then you've got a pretty good chance of remembering the state of the board. It's not always 100%. It's surprising how many times that you can completely not video a certain section of the board that you need. Okay, we've still got some junk in there. This one looks pretty good. Damn it. I hate it when that happens. You clean up one side and the other side gets all mussed up. That's okay. That's right, there was flux there. No wonder I was having trouble. Yuck. Alright. So at this point what I'm going to try is we're going to plug in we're going to plug a MagSafe 3 cable connector in and see if we get a proper boot kind of behavior. Let's get a MagSafe 3 cable. I think I'll have to retire for the night too at this point. I'm starting to feel a little bit worn out. Not getting a lot of sleep again. I don't know what I did the other night. Well, last night I was just sitting in my chair and all of a sudden I get this muscle cramp. They just sort of went through the arm, down into the chest, into the neck and the back shoulder. It's like... You're just sitting there and your body attacks you like that and it's like fantastic. Yep. And so the pain from that has been sitting with me for most of the day. Alright, so here we go. Not looking good. Oh, well, there we go. 20 volts just came through. That took a long time. But it doesn't look like it's going anywhere. So we've definitely got issues. Alright. Well, at this point, what I'm going to have to do is go to the owner of the machine and say, look, realistically, it may be a data-only recovery situation. And that is difficult to ascertain if that's even going to be possible. When was the last time I had... Oh, my blood's fine. I mean, my heart's fine. It was just, you know... What happens is you develop a lot of, say, built-up internal stress and tension, things like that. and then every now and then you will just sort of twist or turn ever so slightly funny, and then your body goes, oh, you want to go that way, and then it just twists itself up on you. It's not a very common thing to happen, but yeah, it's basically just like a spontaneous muscular cramp. It's just that it happens in weird places. It doesn't happen very often. I've got a cough. Sorry. Throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner. Yeah, I would, except they don't really go well when it comes to... Yeah, they don't behave well after you take them out with these sort of setups. I do wonder whether that controller is a problem. Oh, sorry, the ROM chip. What is the purpose of that cap? I don't know if that's a strictly generic decoupling cap, or that's a... Nah, it's strictly generic. Okay. Could easily be there's a pad that's been corroded out under there. That would be one of my first guesses, that one of the pads somewhere along here is corroded. Whoops. And we've still got a little bit of junk around that one. It's not good that those ROM chips got hit. Alright. Well, listen, I think we'll call it for the night. Yeah, and the heart's on the left side. For me, it was on the right side. Yeah, Thomas, I agree. I think the those I2C lines, comms lines, are going to need checking out. I'll actually lift the chips and have a look and see what the pads are like. But it's getting late, so I think I need to time out. I feel like we did get the Thunderbolt, not Thunderbolt, the lid angle switch. I feel like we got that sorted out, but we've got more issues, and I want to get an idea of what this person wants to do in terms of their commitment to, is it data recovery, or do they want a fully working machine? If they want a fully reworking machine, I'd be disinclined to carry on. It's not a huge amount of damage, but it is enough damage that in 3 months or 6 months time something else is probably going to pop up. So I'd rather just tell them straight out now, look, it's not worth investing the money, just go move to a new one. Alright then, well, that's it for me tonight. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate your watching, and thank you for the feedback on how the VP9 coding was going with the ARC A380. It seems to be going all right now that I've managed to get it to run X. I said I wish they'd just give up on Wayland. I know the technical reasons why they want to do Wayland, replace X, but sometimes like email systems, the SMTP system, sometimes it's just not really that viable to try and replace it, and you just got to live with it. At least not for a while anyway, and I think Wayland still has perhaps another 10 years to go before they get everything sorted out well enough. Alright, you all take care. I'll see you next time. Thanks again. Catch you later.